much for listening to Money Zone for Women. I'm Cami Zonin, your host for the show, and I've got a lot to talk to you about today. My top favorite 8 reasons why everybody needs to have a financial plan. So, number 8 is healthcare costs and retirement. Now, you're probably thinking, I'm too young, I don't need to worry about that right now, but you're totally wrong. The average cost for healthcare and retirement for one person could be upwards of $185,000 just in retirement. That's not including your premiums and things or a major healthcare event. One thing to remember is that Medicare does not cover long-term healthcare if you should need it. A lot of folks thinks that it does, and it does not. Number 7 is the cost of college. Did you know that college can actually increase more than 2 to 4 times the amount of normal inflation? It actually averages at about 8% per year, and that can amount to a lot of money. A lot of folks think, well, what if my kid doesn't go to college? A 529 plan, I'm not so sure about it. Well, did you know that you could convert $25,000 of that to a Roth IRA for them if they don't use it? That leads me into number 6, and just the sheer plain old cost of raising a child. Back in 2010, the USDA said that the high income household would spend over $250,000 just to get your child to the age of 18. That's a huge investment. Number 5, protecting your family. What do I mean by that? Having an emergency fund for those so-called unexpected things that happen, like a new roof or a new water heater. Having money in the bank, an emergency fund to pay for that, really saves you from having to build up debt on credit cards or home equity loans. And then, of course, the subject nobody wants to talk about, insurance. Oh yes, I'm talking about life insurance, health insurance, disability, long-term care. But more importantly, or as importantly, what about your property insurance, your auto insurance? Has the cost of your home gone up, but you haven't adjusted your homeowner's insurance? Do you have proper umbrella insurance? All of these things can really help save any financial plan. Number 4 is planning for longer lifespans. I want you to think for 1 second, how many people do you talk to on a regular basis and you hear somebody in the group say, my grandmother, my aunt, my uncle lived to be 90, 100, or they're celebrating their 100th birthday. When I run our plans for longevity and retirement planning, we were using age 100. That's about to change because we are living longer. So we need to plan for that. Chances are you're going to live longer in retirement than you did in your working years. And for that, you're going to need the resources. Number 3, this one is interesting. I call this the multiple chapters of our lives. Now, because we're living longer, we may go through multiple chapters. We may lose a spouse and remarry, or divorce, or enter the workforce, leave the workforce. Because of this, we save less as women. Oh, and don't forget, we're usually making about 86 cents on the dollar compared to our male counterparts. So for this, we really need to plan for that. Number 2, eliminating debt. If you want to have a very comfortable retirement, better than what you have now, or like you have now, you have to eliminate debt now. To do that, you have to live below your means. I would like to say within your means, but to be able to save, you need to live below your means. You have to spend less than you make so that you can save. And number 1, this is my favorite, most important. If there's no other reason, if you could care less about all the other reasons, this number 1 reason, I think you should really give some thought to. And that's just the security of knowing you're prepared. And that goes for so many different areas of our life. So for a second, I'm going to bring this back to financial planning, and that's having all of your estate documents, your power of attorney, healthcare directives, all that stuff planned out so that you know everything's going to go off without a hitch. But just organizing your documents and having your financial household organized and prepared and ready. And I'm going to bring back to our minds for a moment the natural disasters that have been happening across the world. And think about how quickly sometimes we have to leave our house. So sometimes we need to get at our medical information and we don't know it right away. if we're prepared for those things when we have to leave quickly, we feel so much better. And if we don't need to use that emergency plan, great, we're prepared. So it's really important to work with somebody who can see, are you properly prepared? And maybe you have all of the pieces and you're set to go, but just make sure they're all working for the greater good, and that's to make sure you're covered. So again, number one reason, and if you only need one, that would be it, is to make sure you are prepared and organized for any family disaster or national disaster. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this information was useful. Please pass this on to your loved ones. I really think this is something everybody, no matter what your age, could benefit from hearing. Thanks so much. Until next time.